Good afternoon. Well, it's supposed to be like 40-ish, but there's a wind chill factor, and as we walk on this road, it's kind of a tunnel through the wind, but we may hear some wind as I speak. But the wind is, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles or something like that, so it's been pretty windy. So it's kind of a cutting wind. It's interesting. A little bit of sunlight warms you up, and so this is my version of the Thomas Jefferson weather report today. There's hell's a poppin' stuff going on today. I'll get to this, but I wanted to tease you a little bit if you haven't heard about it. Trump compared himself to Al Capone, so we'll talk about that. But in that same category, he's been going around and at his different Hitlerite rallies, he's been saying, guard the vote, guard the vote. And what he's doing is giving the MAGA nuts a chance to organize themselves to use extreme measures if necessary to guard the vote. And Michael Flynn is also involved in this, and he's been advancing it as well. And Trump is saying things like, we have all the votes we need to win. So in other words, we've already won, and brace yourself, because there are going to be efforts to steal the election from us. So he's got his working, lying strategy to steal this election, and we're hoping for the result that we had the last election when he failed to steal the election. So, but it's clear that we're not going to have anybody doing anything as civilized as respecting rules and procedures. So he's kind of like a criminal figure, and I'll get to that in a moment. Now, going from our section of the world over to the Middle East and back again to the UN, what we have is the UN chief Guterres saying that we're suffering from a global threat from the Gaza war. And he was propounding and encouraging a ceasefire. Now, before today, I had the impression that we were tolerating the fact that Netanyahu would not agree to a ceasefire, and he would agree to pauses. But now, the United States is apparently in the Security Council, and we have one of the vetoes in the Security Council of the UN. So if we or Russia or certain other member states vote against something, we have a veto. And we vetoed the notion of a ceasefire, which surprises and disappoints me. The insanity that is the Middle East war is, this asshole just went by me on a road was 20 miles an hour, and he ratcheted up to about 50 and came as close as he could to me, which is a warning that people for the wrong reason are going to be upset to the extent they understand what your position is on where America's going. And out where I am, some of these fossil-headed, backward-looking individuals who, tout their guns and so forth have kind of gone underground. So the notion of, guard the vote may not be a fiction, and we have to be ready for that as we were ready in the 2020 election so that we won. And we're going to have more of the same now. Now, in the category of good riddance to bad rubbish, Representative McCarthy is leaving office the end of the month. What a shame. Oh, if only more would follow him, we might not have to have Sturm und Drang about how we restore the Republic and go forward to do something promising instead of something defensive and hateful and painful. But that's a lot to ask for, I know. Trump has apparently confirmed that if he wins the election, he's going to be after the conspirators in the media and elsewhere who are out to get him. This guy is central casting evil. And in Colorado, I believe they had the argument today about whether or not Trump can be on the ballot based on the fact that he supported the insurrection and therefore betrayed his oath. And so by Article 14, Section 3, he could be barred from running for any office, including the one he tried to steal not so long ago. It's now the way the appeal works out, it's really two broad parts. One part is the judge's decision that there's proof that Trump supported the insurrection. Now the Trump persons want that overturned. The second part of the lower court decision, wrong as could be, was despite the fact of finding that there was an insurrection and that Trump supported it, was the question of whether he should be on the ballot or not. And the judge wrongly decided he could be on the ballot. So the state attorney general and others are seeking to overturn that because it's inconsistent with the notion that he caused the insurrection. And you may remember there was kind of some Philadelphia lawyering here suggesting that maybe the oath he took was different. Well, the oath in Section 3 in the Constitution talks about, not the pledges to support. And he says the fact that he's supposed to, he took an oath to defend and uphold and protect the Constitution, that's different. Well, like everything else in his imagination, then he thinks it's different, and it's not. Now, Hannity, who softballed Trump through another unpaid advertisement on Fox Tuesday night, very carefully done, helping Trump all the way, going through all his talking points and putting them out there. Pretty interesting stuff. And at some point he said, so, are you going to go after all the people that some say you're going to go after and that this report says? And so Trump dodged the question and compared himself to Al Capone. And he proudly said, Al Capone, he was only charged once with crimes. I have 4 indictments. Now, Trump, as stupid as he is, as dumb as a post, overlooks a couple of things here. One, Al Capone, yes, was only charged with 1 indictment, and he went to jail. And I visited his cell up in Philadelphia where they made special arrangements for him, where the prisoners were isolated one from another. So Trump, if he wants to compare himself to Al Capone, good, because he has 4 indictments against him, 94 counts if I remember, both state and federal charges. And if the outcome is similar, if he's just like Al Capone, he can choose one of the 4 indictments to go spend the rest of his frickin' life in prison. It's close, right? But I didn't say it. So that's what I got. It's chilly out. Rattle our cages. Let anybody you know that this is insane. We're handling the Middle East wrong. We're risking a world war. And here at home, people, Trump, say the damnedest things, like that old show about children, except those children were intelligent, and threaten basically to be a petty dictator. Certainly not honoring the tradition of America, nor the people who require a government that really means something in terms of the skeletal structure that we spend so much time building up, from the Declaration of Independence to our Constitution to all the laws and all the things this nation has gone through to give promise to the people here and abroad. And that's where we got to get back to. And that's our promise. And Trump would breach it, destroy it, and turn on every one of us for merely saying that he is what he is, an evil criminal, the worst president in American history. And he should go down like that. He should go down in this election. He should go to prison. And we should celebrate that fact. I do. So, all the best. You know, it seems warmer the longer I talk. So I guess I'm heating myself up. So I say goodbye to you from the Cathedral of Trees. And I'll hopefully be out again tomorrow. Bye-bye.